I wanted to give an update on the greenhouse since we had that snowstorm the other day. Fortunately, it wasn't the 12 to 16 inches they promised. It was just about 6 inches, I guess. So I wanted to give an update on how the Pallet greenhouse has held up. And as you can see, oh, it's sliding. The ice is sliding off as I speak. So we haven't had any problems. I've had people express some concern about the plastic that I used. This was just the 4 mil, 4 mil, 6 mil plastic I used from Harbor Freight. It's not greenhouse plastic on there, and some people had worried that it would degrade in the sun. And as you can see, it's holding up quite nice. And I haven't had any issues with it other than a couple of branches falling through and poking holes in this. But then again, I'm glad it was only $26 Harbor Freight plastic and not several $100 greenhouse plastic. But all is not as well as it seems. This is the other side of the greenhouse, and as you can see, the plastic is still very taut and holding up quite well. But the one area where I had a problem is back here. As you can see, you got a big hole there. And my initial concern had been that the plastic actually did tear, that the weight of the snow on the greenhouse tore the plastic. And so the concerns that were given to me were actually correct. Well, as it turns out, that's not what the problem was. The problem was the clips I had used, like this here, to hold the plastic in place, popped off on the top. Now, I'm not certain, but what I think happened was when I cut these to fit, I left them a little too wide, and they didn't, that when the snow was on them, the pulling of it just caused it to pop off. Whereas this here, well, for one, it's down low, but you can see over here on the front of the greenhouse, these clips are fine. They're still holding. There was no slippage or anything like that. So I think they were a tighter radius than the ones that I had in the back. And I do recall them being like slightly loose. I know one or two of them were where they actually are. I don't recall, but that one or two of them were slightly loose, but I thought it would be fine. Apparently not. So if you're going to do this, I think a couple other things that could have probably helped is have a little bit more overhang of the plastic than what I have here. And I think if there had been a little bit more of an overhang, it would have been better. But also, as you can see back here, this plastic isn't attached to anything. On the front, if we look, and if you recalled from my build video, I actually taped, using the Gorilla Tape, this overhang. And I said it wasn't necessary to actually do that. I just didn't want the plastic flapping. It actually might be necessary, or helpful, I should say. I think that if I had taped the back like I did the front, the plastic wouldn't have pulled off. So let's go inside. Right now it's a little bit of a jumble in here. I got some plants that I'm overwintering in here. And so I have to repair it though, because I don't want the cold overnight temperatures. So what I have to do is pull this plastic up over the plastic again and find my clips on the other side and reattach it. But I just figured I'd give an update on how the greenhouse is holding up so far under its first storm. Mostly okay. Just that one corner back there. Well, actually on both sides. I think the clip over here popped off too. And again, like I said, that side's actually okay. It's really just this side here. And so had I done the two things, tape down that flap of plastic to the back of the greenhouse, to the greenhouse, and also used a tighter clip, I don't think I would have had that problem. So just a warning, if you're going to be building one, and I've gotten a number of great comments from people, and a lot of people said they liked the design and how it came out, and wanted to build their own. So just keep that in mind. I would actually use the Gorilla Tape and tape down any of the excess plastic. Of course, if you end up putting some kind of wood bracing in along here, I had thought about it and then decided not to. But you could always attach the plastic to that wood bracing. That would probably help as well. I don't think that's necessary. I think just tape and better clips will be the fix. I came back, cut out some new clips, and I came along and taped up the edge. And as you can also see, I actually taped the clips on too. And I figured I'd just give it a little extra protection on it. Now, it's not as good, I don't think, as if I had taped it when I first strung it, because as you can see, the plastic's a little bit looser than it was. But otherwise, this is still fairly tight. The rest of it is nice and tight as well. So it's back in business. The plants that I got growing inside the greenhouse are protected from the extra cold weather. I mean, it still gets cold in there, of course, but it does provide a layer of protection for them. And I'm overwintering the plants in there. A lot of times I've put them in my shed over there, but I'm trying it in the greenhouse this year. For one, it allows me to get my snowblower in and out of the shed a lot easier. All right, that's the main reason. And I'm just gonna now just tape up these clips on here. They didn't move at all, not like the back ones. And like I said, I do think that's because I taped the plastic. I just think in the back, the weight of the snow on the plastic, as it caused the plastic to start to pull, it popped the clips off. Here, because the plastic was taped, that didn't happen. Okay, thanks for watching.